Hello and welcome to Three Things with JR. I'm your host, JR, and I'm just now realizing how much it sounds like you're going to church at the beginning of this show with the new theme song, which is the song People by the band that I'm in, which, if you've been paying attention to the last few episodes, you know we've changed our name recently. It's no longer Big or The Band Big. It's now To Be Fair, Tobefare, To Be Fair. ToBeFair.com if you want more information about the band. But it sounds kind of churchy coming into this song. Don't worry, I won't be preaching at you today. But I do have a whole bunch of things to tell you about. We're not going to go into an old job or anything like that. It's kind of a current day, what's going on with me and my life right now. Where am I at? First off, the weather has been fantastic the last couple days. It was a little cold Friday morning, but it has been super nice kind of ever since. Cold winter this year here in Virginia. Colder and more consistently cold than we've grown used to in the last few years here in Virginia. So it was a welcome change. I hope that it stays kind of warm, and I'm kind of over the winter. I didn't really even go skiing this winter, just too busy for that. And I'm done with the cold, and I'm ready for it to be warm. So today was warm, and so warm I even got to ride my motorcycle a little bit. Also, daylight. We've already got enough daylight at the end of each day that I get to go play disc golf after work, which is fantastic. And it's only about to get better because daylight saving time starts this coming weekend. As I record this, it's Sunday, March 6th. 1 week from right now, daylight saving time will have started, and I can't wait. It couldn't come any sooner. Couldn't come soon enough. It's one of those things. I'm one of those people that I could just live with daylight saving time all year round, so that there's always enough time after work to go do something outside with daylight. So excited for that to start soon. And disc golf is the thing that I would usually be doing after work, and I've been playing disc golf really good lately. It's been fun. I've been practicing putting on the front porch. I've been throwing it really well out there on the course. And when I'm not playing disc golf, I'm probably at home watching disc golf because the Disc Golf Pro Tour is now in full swing. So there's always disc golf to watch on TV, on YouTube, and of course, just love playing it. So it's still a passion, and thoroughly enjoy it. I rode the motorcycle today. I got to ride it for the first time really since like November. It's been in the garage doing nothing since November. I have started it up a couple times, but haven't taken it out until today. And now I bought the bike to ride to work, to ease the burden on the gas and the miles on my daily driver. I don't really get to ride it to work much because, the dog, he doesn't fit on the bike, and my dog would be in hell if I left him at home every day without anybody there. He's not to be trusted in the house. He will break windows and screens and tear up doors and frames. And it's just, he does not like being at home alone. He needs to get out and he needs to be with me. So I bring him to work every day, which means I'm driving my car to work every day. So I did get to go today, though, without him because he doesn't really get to go to band practice. So I caged up the beast and hopped on the hog and went out to, it was a nice ride, too. It was like an hour each way, some nice curvy roads right through downtown Charlottesville. And, just a beautiful ride. And I have Bluetooth speakers in my helmet now, so I can listen to music while I'm riding. And so it's pretty awesome. And today was band practice. Today we did covers. We practiced all of the cover songs. Gary had a list of cover songs, and we haven't really been playing any cover songs. We've really been working hard on original songs, just, songs that Gary has written that we, and then sort of put the finishing touches on there in band rehearsal. Songs we're probably going to record in the near future. But we haven't spent any time really playing songs that we just love to play that we didn't write. And today was that day. We went over all these covers and decided which ones we can still play, that we enjoy playing, that we still know the words to and the notes and all of that. And can we actually pull it off or not? And there were ones that we were like, nah, but most of them that we thought we could pull off, we did. And it's pretty fun. So we have a bunch of music we can play. We're ready. If you need a band to play at your venue, you might own like a concert venue or something, or a bar where, the band is the feature. It's the reason people come to your establishment. We might be a good fit on your stage because we can rock and have a lot of fun doing it. So yeah, tobefair.com, F-A-R-E. All right, that's what's going on with me, like literally today. I had to get all of that off my chest before I got into 3 things. So let's do it. Thing number 1, something rotten. So back in December, I was heavily involved in rehearsing for A Christmas Story, the musical, over at the Wayne Theater in Waynesboro, Virginia, and loving every minute of it. And I had Leslie Larson and Sarah Kramer on the podcast. You might remember that. It was episode number 80. It's actually the second most listened to episode of this podcast. Number 2 only to episode number 65, which was HYCYBH, which stands for Have You Checked Your Butthole, with Kent Morris. He's a disc golfing buddy, and he was that episode got a lot of love from the disc golf community, but that's the only reason it has a few more views than episode number 80, where I sat down on the stage at the Wayne Theater with Leslie and Sarah, the director and musical director of A Christmas Story, the musical, and we talked about musicals and their lives and what inspires us and doing the show and all of that stuff. And towards the end of the show, I asked them if they had already chosen the next musical that they were going to work on, and they told me they had. And in fact, if I was paying attention, I probably would have known it already because it was in the program for the previous musical that they did, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And I did go to that show, so I got a program, so I should have known what it was. But they told me it was a show called Something Rotten. And now, I didn't know anything about Something Rotten at the time. In fact, here's what I'd like to do. I want to play you that bit of that podcast. Here's a couple minutes of me asking them what the next show was going to be. And for them, this is them explaining Something Rotten to me. Have you guys chosen the show you're going to do next? Like here, whatever that's going to be?
We do know, yeah, it's been announced.
The next musical that we're doing, yeah.
It's been announced?
Yeah,
I didn't see. I missed an announcement.
Joseph program.
What is it?
It's called Something Rotten.
Oh.
I'm so beyond excited. It's one of my favorites. And it's pretty new.
It's new. Everyone that's found out that we have the rights for it are very like, whoa, you got the rights for it?
Yeah.
And it's a quirky musical that takes place in the late 1500s, where they're contemporaries of William Shakespeare. But it's funny, like there's nothing like serious about it.
No, it's hilarious.
They're competing with William Shakespeare to create the next biggest hit.
Oh, nice.
Shakespeare's like the rock star of the town, and he's kind of a jerk because he's a rock star and he's very high and mighty, and so these playwrights are competing, trying to live up to Shakespeare. And it's a perfect example of what we were talking about before, that idea of intelligent musical theater, because it's so smart and so referential, and you could watch it 5 times and not get all of the references and the clever little puns that are hidden, and it's so
I've certainly heard of it. I know nothing. You've just educated. That's my entire education on the show. I've always what you're saying makes me think it's like Monty Python and the Holy Grail-ish?
Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
Cool.
it's exciting because, my background, I did my graduate work, so I have a master's in fine arts and acting, but in Shakespeare acting. So it's speaking to both my nerdy heart, where like I get all of the, Elizabethan references, and it's speaking to Sarah's nerdy heart for all of the musical theater references. Plus, we're super excited because opening weekend is Shakespeare's birthday.
Yeah.
So we're
neat.
going to do
We always say we love a theme.
So we're going to have a whole party for Shakespeare, the rock star that he is. We're going to have a whole little party for that on opening weekend. So it's going to be great.
So as you can see, I really didn't know anything about Something Rotten at the time. And it was not long after that show that I sat down on the couch with Kiki, my girlfriend, and searched YouTube to see if there was any way to watch Something Rotten on the internet right now. I first, of course, looked at all of the legit places to watch, maybe the original cast. I have the Broadway HD app on my Apple TV. I thought maybe it might have been on Amazon or Netflix or Hulu or HBO. Could have been on anything, right? You never know where stuff is going to be streaming these days. But alas, it was nowhere. The only thing I was able to find was a couple different bootleg versions of the show on YouTube. And so I sat down and watched it. And there was a point in the show where I realized I need to be in this show. There was a particular character that I was like, I think I can do that. I think I could do it for sure. And I have been obsessing over this show ever since. And Leslie and Sarah mentioned you could watch it 5 times and still not get all of the musical references. I would say, I can tell you for a fact, you can watch it hundreds of times and still not get all of the references, unless you happen to be a dramaturge, which is a word I just recently learned. A dramaturge is a person, well, here, I'll read you the actual definition of a dramaturge. I did not know what it was, but a dramaturge is an expert in the study of plays, musicals, or operas. It is their job to provide the cast and crew with vital knowledge, research, and interpretation about the theatrical work in question so that they are, in turn, better equipped to do their jobs. I recently found out what that is, and I'm far from that. I am no expert on dramas and musicals and the history and the facts and all of that stuff that goes into it, but I am very obsessed with this show, Something Rotten. It is. I listened to the original Broadway cast recording on Spotify pretty much daily. I have been doing so since December. It's now March. I have watched this bootleg version. There's a couple of them on YouTube almost daily. I watch it, parts of it at least, just about every day. I've also been searching for any other Something Rotten content on the internet. Like, for example, Broadway.com does vlogs. They did one with Heidi Blickenstaff, who plays the female lead in the show. And she did like an 8-episode vlog where she was backstage in her dressing room, behind the stage, off to the side, interviewing others in the show, such as Christian Borle, Brian Darcy James, Brian Oscar, and various others. So I love that. And then I moved right on to the Rob McClure vlog, who takes over the male lead for the touring version of the show. And the show's only couple years old, so this was back in like 2017 that these vlogs were happening. And Rob basically does like 20 episodes of a vlog while they're traveling around the country doing this show in all these different cities, and you get more and more insight into the show, how the show works. And I've just been devouring this kind of content. I have been planning to audition for this show for several months now. I've been working on an audition song and a monologue that I was going to do for Sarah and Leslie. I worked on it for about 2 months, every single day in my car, yelling out this monologue, singing this song, and really perfecting it. I have been learning how to tap dance because there is a lot of tap dancing in the show Something Rotten. I bought tap dancing shoes, as I mentioned earlier. I bought some plywood and made a little small 4x4 tap dancing floor in my living room. I load up YouTube videos and learn how to do basic steps. And I even took a tap dancing class offered at the Wayne in preparation for the Something Rotten audition. And what I learned from all of that is tap dancing is really freaking hard. It is not easy, especially when you're relatively top heavy and don't have great balance like me. I watched a tap dancing documentary, learned a lot more about the history of tap dancing, and got to watch some amazing tap dancers in that. And then I did. I went to the audition. I went to the audition just about 2 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago tonight, Sunday, March 6th. It was 2 weeks ago that I went and did my monologue, and sang my song, and got a call back to come back the next night. And at the callback, I got to actually sing one of the songs from Something Rotten, or at least part of it, and also do some lines from the actual show, doing the role I've been wanting in this show. I got to do those lines and that song, and they told us we would get an email on that Thursday. So that was Monday night. I had to wait till Thursday, and I got the email, and it turns out I am Nostradamus, which is the name of the character I've been wanting to play ever since I first saw this show in the bootleg version on YouTube, and I couldn't be more excited. Now, let me tell you, it's a little bit out of my comfort zone. It's not just me talking to the audience, which is like kind of right there in my wheelhouse, which was what I did in A Christmas Story, the musical, was me telling the audience what's going on. Kind of like what I'm doing to you right now is kind of like what I did in A Christmas Story. So it wasn't much of a stretch for me. I didn't have to carry any song vocally. I was in the background singing some songs, and I did a little bit of dancing, but that was it. For the most part, my job was to talk to the audience. I can handle that. As Nostradamus, I am not the lead, not even close to the lead. I will not be on stage for most of the show, but I will be on the stage in bits and pieces throughout a lot of the show. But I do have a song that is kind of central to the theme of the show, the plot of the show. It kind of centers on what happens in the song that I do get to sing. And it's kind of cool that I'm going to actually have to carry this song. I'm going to have to actually be the only voice you hear singing for a lot of this song. And I'm also going to have to do some dancing, and we'll probably have to do some tap dancing in there. So I'm going to have to put a bunch of new skills to the test and get out of my comfort zone and do some singing and dancing. And I think I can do it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to kill it. That is the plan. With the preparation I've done just to get the role, now it's into preparation for actually doing the role. And I'm just absolutely obsessed with this entire process. And I so can't wait for you to get to see this show, Something's Rotten. It'll be the last 2 weekends in April at the Wayne Theater in Waynesboro. Go to waynetheater.org to get your tickets. They are available now. Whew. Kiki is responsible for all of this, by the way. For most of my life, I thought I was not into musicals, like, at all. I would hear about people going to Broadway. I've seen musicals. I remember watching Brigadoon in chorus class in high school and thinking, yeah, this really isn't for me. I thought musicals were silly. And when I met Kiki and we went on our first trip to New York, she insisted I go with her to a Broadway show. And I've kind of been hooked ever since. The show was on the town. And the production was amazing. The performances, I was a little miffed why there was dancing when there didn't need to be dancing, but I'm not miffed by that anymore. I kind of get it. And I mean, the writing, the performances, the staging, the production, how they go from scene to scene, all of the stuff that makes Broadway and musicals, I love it. I had no idea. I loved it. And it was not long after that Hamilton became a big thing, and I've been absolutely obsessed with Hamilton. I would love for there to be a community theater version of Hamilton. However, it'll probably be years before they license that out to community theaters to be done. Who knows when that'll happen. But I'm still not sure what role I would want or would be good at playing in that show, because it just takes so much. But I can probably do most of the rapping in that show. But gosh, maybe George Washington, maybe. But he's really got to sing. That guy's got to have pipes. Maybe some Lafayette or Thomas Jefferson. I could see maybe doing that. Yeah, I would love to be in Hamilton. But Kiki and I go see shows all the time. We've seen Hamilton twice. We've gone to local shows here around the area, at Live Arts and Shannon Arts and Four County Players and various others. Whenever we go to New York, we go to Broadway shows. We've seen the touring versions of shows in Richmond at the Altria Theater. We just saw Jesus Christ Superstar at the Kennedy Center in D.C. It was the first time I'd actually been to the Kennedy Center since I was a kid. I was 8 or 9. My parents took me to see a play, a straight-up play, Arsenic and Old Lace, and I remember just loving it. And this Jesus Christ Superstar at the Kennedy Center, it was the first time Kiki had ever been there at all. That show is crazy good. It's one of those where they sing the entire time and dance the entire time, and they kill Jesus with glitter instead of whips and chains, and they throw him up on a cross, and then the show's over, and you're like, wait, isn't there more to the show? Isn't Jesus supposed to be resurrected and stuff? And the end of the show really doesn't go into that part of it at all. And it's kind of weird. At the end of Jesus Christ Superstar is, we're giving a standing ovation for Jesus just died on the cross. So kind of weird, but great show, and love it. I had been saying to Kiki for a while, after seeing all these shows, I want to be in one of these. This looks like I want to do this. I want to be on stage. However, I don't think I can do most of the roles I'm seeing done here. I don't have the vocal chops. I don't have the dancing chops. I'm not built for most of these roles, but boy, if there was ever a mostly speaking role, I would love to do that. I would go for it. And then she sent me the audition announcement for A Christmas Story, the musical. And I looked at it and went, gosh, do I want to do that? Do I actually want to be in a musical? Do I want to commit to 3 or 4 rehearsals a week for a couple of months and 10 performances? Do I have the ability to learn all those lines? I really, really almost didn't do that audition for A Christmas Story, and Kiki just kept encouraging me to do it. I think she really thought that it was something I should do, that I could do, and so I did the audition, got the role, and it was the perfect role, as I've mentioned, and it went really well. I loved every minute of it, and now I'm not just hooked on watching these shows, I'm hooked on being in them and being a part of them, and gosh, there's just a perfect role for me here in Something Rotten. And the fact that I got the role I want, it's kind of fun because I just explained to you how my journey from thinking musicals are stupid to being absolutely enthralled by them. And my character gets to revel in the moment when someone in the show becomes aware of musicals and at first thinks they're stupid, but very quickly realizes that they are amazing. I so can't wait for you to see this show. I am Nostradamus in Something Rotten at the Wayne Theater in April, waynetheater.org for tickets. Please go get some before the shows sell out. And I hope they sell out because the more people get to see this, the better, because it's just that great. It just makes your heart want to sing. I might be dropping lines from the show periodically in there without even thinking about it because they're all I think about these days. All right, we'll be back in just a minute with thing number 2.
Nothing I can say. Change your mind and stay. So I'll see you later today.
And we're back with thing number 2. And this is a recommendation. This is a show that I recently binged all of on HBO Max, and I just was excited to see every new episode because it is hilarious. I have a training class going on at work right now, which means I spend all day with 12 or 13 other people in a Zoom type of virtual training meeting thing. And every day it was coming up, have you seen the new episode of Peacemaker? And I didn't really know what that was. Peacemaker, turns out it's a sort of a superhero type movie, part of the DC or DC Comics universe. And it's on HBO Max. And I thought, I don't know if I'm into that at all. I haven't really enjoyed the superhero shows on TV. I like all the Marvel movies and stuff, but I haven't really been into the DC movies. I mean, the first Wonder Woman was okay. Couldn't care less about the new Superman movies. I just hadn't been getting into it. Never seen Suicide Squad. I looked at HBO Max. I looked at Peacemaker, and it said picks up right where Suicide Squad left off. And I thought, great, now I got to go watch Suicide Squad. And I asked everybody, is this worth it? And they're like, you don't really have to, but you should watch Suicide Squad before you watch Peacemaker. So I did. And I also learned there's a right and a wrong Suicide Squad. I made sure to watch the right one, the one directed by James Gunn. And wow, that movie was hilarious. Gruesome, pulls no punches, blood, guts, adult themes. And wow. I was not prepared. I mean, I'm used to these superhero movies being, I mean, pretty extreme on the CGI and the action and all of that. And there's certainly innuendo and stuff, but they're, for the most part, I mean, they're kid friendly in many sort of ways. But not the Suicide Squad and not Peacemaker. And seems to me like DC is willing to go into more of a this is only for adults type of a thing with their superhero movies and shows. And Peacemaker stars John Cena. He's that big muscle-bound guy who also happens to be hilarious as an actor. And the show does indeed pick up where Suicide Squad left off. And it deals with a whole bunch of interesting topics in a crazy sort of ways. I mean, it deals with racism. It deals with climate change, aliens, redemption. It's a redemption story. And it's funny all along the way, even while it's handling some serious stuff. It's hilarious, and it's gruesome, and it's sexy. And the opening song, the opening credit sequence and song is one of those that you will want to watch it every single time you watch the show. There's a skip button there, but you're not going to push it because the opening song is that fun. It's captivating. It's entertaining. It's got things. You will see more things in it the more you watch it. It's just hilarious. If you like anti-superhero movies and TV shows, Peacemaker on HBO Max, I highly recommend it. Loved every minute of it. If you don't like blood and guts and gore and gruesome killings, Peacemaker, his whole thing is he will fight for peace. He wants peace. That is his goal. That is his mission in life, and he will kill any man, child, or woman, or child in order to get there. So. Boy, I botched that, didn't I? Let's try that again. Peacemaker's whole thing is achieving peace, no matter how many men, women, and children have to die. That sort of sums up Peacemaker on HBO Max. It was a lot of fun. There you go. Thing number 2, Peacemaker. Thing number 3. Thing number 3's always been just kind of something dumb, and this is something... Yeah, it's kind of dumb. I just want to tell you about how much I love shoes. I love new shoes. I love shoes that I've been wearing for years. I want to tell you, when I was younger, like teenager, young adult, I was the type of person that had one pair of shoes and I wore them every day. I purposely got a pair of shoes that I thought these shoes will fit most occasions, most situations. Dark brown and black Nike hiking boots. Were they dressy? Kind of. Were they able to deal with running around and having fun and exercising? Yes. Could you just wear them to go out to the movies or out to dinner? Yes. I mean, they were just all-purpose shoes, one pair, fits all, done. And I always thought I would be the type of person who just wears the same pair of shoes every day until they wear out, then get another pair of the exact same shoes. But I'm here to tell you that is not the man I've become. I now have about 10 pairs of shoes I wear with regularity, and about 20 other pairs of shoes I wear when the situation arises. I've purchased 3 pairs of shoes specifically for using to play disc golf. Usually you want them to be waterproof and have good grip and traction, and of course comfortable because you're going to do lots of walking. I've purchased 2 pairs of shoes just for the theater. I've only been in one show, and now I'm starting in my second show. I've already purchased 2 pairs of theaters specifically because of the theater, a pair that I actually wore in A Christmas Story, and now, of course, I just bought a pair of tap shoes for, tapping. I've got 4 different pairs of like high top hiking boot type things, different colors, different materials, different looks. I've got 9 different pairs of sneakers. I've got shoes for wearing at the beach. I even bought some sandals, and I thought I hated sandals, but I found some sandals I really like. I've got several different pairs of dress shoes. I've got several different pairs of motorcycle boots, and a full closet full of like shoes I don't even wear anymore. I might have a sickness. There is one type of footwear I've tried multiple times in my life, and I just can't do it though. Flip-flops. I have a requirement that all of my footwear must meet. They have to stay on my feet without me having to do any extra work while I'm walking. And flip-flops definitely require thought and effort just to keep them on my feet when walking casually. This is unacceptable. One of the basic jobs of shoes is to stay on your feet. And flip-flops are not very good at that. And that's why I do kind of, I think I lost one of them. I own half of a pair of flip-flops. And they're nice ones. They look okay. I've got nice feet, so I don't mind the look. I just mind walking around in shoes that don't stay on.
People who love should always love people. People who care put their souls on the line. People of faith have something to live for. The people who hate are just wasting their lives.
Whew. All right, there you go. We're going to be back probably next week, assuming I'm not too busy with the show and with all of the things I've got going on right now. Loving life every day, and I hope you are too. Do what you love. Get out there and sing and dance and have some fun. I love you all. I'll see you back here on the next episode. Have a good night. Adios. Peace. I don't know how end shows, so...
Everybody say